bit, no big huge departure, but I'm working on the games for Thursday, February 10th, and there was I got them all set up. I got all the predictions ran. I got all the Vegas lines, but there was a bunch of Vegas lines that weren't in yet when I started this. So I'm going to go through these and get the most updated line. So we do have a line here, Wagner laying 9.5 to Mount St. Mary's. We say 15, Wagner at home. And so we're gonna take Wagner here. Just gonna double check. Towson hosting William and Mary, 18.5 the line. We say 24. I'm gonna add a little caveat here. So it's gone down to 17.5. I don't like this play. I'm gonna show you why I don't like this play. Here's William and Mary. William and Mary went 0-13 in non-conference. Okay, horrible numbers, really, just an awful team all through the non-conference schedule. Then they hit Colonial play. Now they're in conference, and look at they start populating some of these win columns. Were they just playing possum up here? I mean, come on, what's this all about up here? They should have beat Hampton for crying out loud, but they lost. They should have beat Fairfield. They got killed by Fairfield. They were playing possum, and it has destroyed their numbers for the rest of the year. Okay. They're a better team than this rating right here. Okay. Are they Towson good? No, they're not Towson good. But here's the real question. Are they better than 17.5 on the road to Towson? I think they are. So I don't like this play, but we're stuck with it because we got to do what the computer does. But I don't like that play, and it's because William and Mary, they were playing possum. They didn't want anyone to see their weapons. They played their plain Jane vanilla offense, and they took 13 losses in a row just so they could surprise the rest of the Colonial League. All right, enough about that. Appalachian State, this is the money line. So Vegas is saying Georgia Southern at home wins by 6.5, and we have Appalachian State winning the game. So we're on the other side of the line, makes it a money line opportunity. It pays you back better if it converts. So let's see if it's still 6.5. Appalachian State still laying. Wait a minute. Appalachian State laying 6.5. Wait a minute. Did I misread that? I think I did. I think I did. All right, changes everything. So 6.5, Appalachian State laying 6.5. We'd say they only win by 4. My goodness, that changed everything. So we're going to borrow this. It's no longer a money line. This is a conventional play. But now we're taking the dog because we don't think App State's going to win by 6.5. I don't know how. I mean, I do so many of these things. But how I misread that was it's a rookie mistake. All right, maybe this one's correct. Vegas has Troy at home, winning by 2.5 over Arkansas State. We have Arkansas State on the road, winning by 1. The chips are getting down for the Sun Belt, and they're in it. Arkansas State and Troy. This is going to be a whale of a game, I think. It's going to be competitive. They're bringing their A game, okay? That's the point. And let's see if it's still 2.5. Troy laying 2.5. So nothing's changed. It's still a money line play for us. No line earlier on Bryant at Sacred Heart. And now there is a line. Sacred Heart getting 5.5. We say Bryant by 10. And so Bryant's going to be our play here. Okay, no line earlier on Merrimack and Central Connecticut. And we got us a line now, and it's Merrimack laying 5.5. We say by 3. Central Connecticut's been pretty good lately. I'm going to take Central Connecticut for fun. Let's go in the MAC. Here's Central Connecticut. Oh, I'm sorry. They're in the Northeast. I used to be pretty good at these conferences. Here's Central Connecticut. Look, there's some life here. They are, get out of here. They're 6-18. Okay. Merrimack's not much better. Merrimack's 7-14. Okay. Why am I making a big deal about these two teams? I don't know. I've just noticed Central Connecticut's they put together a couple wins here recently. So I like that play. I like where we're at on that play. Where are we? Okay, we're pleased there. UNC Greensboro at home to the Citadel. Laying 8.5. We say it's only a 3-point game. Let's see if it's still 8.5. Greensboro has been hot and cold. Yeah, it's still 8.5. So we're still taking the Citadel. James Madison at home to Elon. And the line 6.5 hasn't moved. Okay. Marshall at home hosting Florida International, laying 5.5. We say FIU wins the game. I don't particularly believe that, but that's what the computer says. So we're just doing what we're told. That is down to 4.5 now. But we're going to keep that 5.5 because we're going to make it tough on Marshall. So we already bought that bet slip and we're keeping it. Coastal Carolina hosting Georgia State. And it'd be good if you actually use correct capitalization here. Coastal Carolina hosting Georgia State, laying 0.5 point. We say it's by 7. It's at Coastal. And it's still 0.5 point. So, man, we're going to take that one all day long. We like that play. Another money line. Drexel at home laying 1.5 to Hofstra. And we say they're going to win the game. And what does Vegas say? Still 1.5. So we like that play. Cleveland State hosting Illinois, Chicago, 9.5's the line, and 11 is what we say. So we're taking Cleveland State, and it is still 9.5. Indiana State at Evansville, money line play. We shade them in green. Evansville laying 3.5, and we like Indiana State here to win. So is it still 3.5? It is still 3.5. So that's our money line play. Everything is status quo there. Iowa with crazy good numbers at Maryland, laying 4.5. And the computer says 13. So Iowa is our play. And it's still, nope, it's gone down to 3.5. So that's a gift. Okay. We're going to take it. Because we live in this little fake world that we can deny points or we can take points. There's no repercussions. Anything I can do to give this computer a little bit of an advantage, folks. I mean, these are not overwhelming numbers here. Okay. Anything I can do to help the computer out, I'm doing it. Purdue Fort Wayne at IUPUI. Perhaps one of the worst teams in college basketball, IUPUI. It was 18.5. We say 24. Purdue Fort Wayne is now 19.5. And we're going to keep that 18.5. It just makes it easier for PFW to win and cover. La Tech on the road at Charlotte, laying 3.5. And it is still 3.5. VMI hosting Mercer, 4.5's the line. We say 6. We like VMI. It's bedded down to, okay, it is still 4.5. Western Illinois, if you got 20 minutes, I'll tell you a lot about Western Illinois, but I don't think you got 20 minutes. So I'm going to hold it. Western Illinois at home to North Dakota State, laying 0.5 point. And it's now gone up to 1.5 points. So we're going to keep that 0.5 point because they started out so well, and then they just faded away. And then they have a little sign of life, and then they get crushed. And it's like, what is up with Western Illinois? But I still think they're a better team than North Dakota State, who's awful. Delaware hosting Northeastern, 7.5's the line. Computer says 10. We're taking Delaware. And it is down to 6.5 points. We're going to It's actually down to 7, but we're buying the hook because I don't want no ties. And that's bad English, but I don't like the ties. They're the pushes. So we're always going to buy a hook or sell a hook or whatever to get on that, to get that half a point. That's why they're all half a point, because no ties. Ties suck. Middle Tennessee on the road at Old Dominion, laying 6.5. Computer says 6, so ODU is our play, and it's 5.5 now. Ooh. So if we take 5.5, we get to take Middle Tennessee and get that home court advantage, and I think that's worth it. So we're going to take that, and we're going to flip this pick. Now we may regret doing this, but this makes more sense to me. You get the home team, you get that home court advantage working for you. Um, it's getting bet towards Middle Tennessee. I like that play, so we're gonna keep that. Okay, this one, Ohio, good team at Central Michigan, horrible team, but they've been playing well lately. 12.5 is the line. We say 27 because we're deceived by these numbers. And if you want to deep dive Central Michigan, we can. They're 6-14, but look how they started. I mean, they played some good teams: DePaul, Gonzaga, uh, DePaul and Gonzaga. Oh, Kentucky. They played Kentucky. Then they got into Mid America action, and they suddenly got better. Kind of a William and Mary type story, that they're probably playing a little possum down here or up here. And then when conference rolls around, they turn into a decent team. That's just good coaching, in my opinion. I got no problems with it. It just sucks for me because they've destroyed their numbers for the rest of the year. But regardless of all that, we're taking Ohio State on the road, laying 12.5 to Central Michigan, and we don't like it, but that's our play. And it's gone up to 13.5, which is a good sign. But we're going to keep that 12.5, make it easier for Ohio to cover. No line earlier on St. Francis of Pennsylvania and Fairleigh Dickinson, and there's still no line. So we'll have to revisit that. Long Island U hosting St. Francis of New York. Yeah, there's two St. Francis's, and they're in the same damn conference. And that's not confusing at all. Anyways, we say it's a 5-point game. Let's see if there's a line on this. And there is Long Island by 7.5. And I don't mind taking the dog here. St. Francis of New York has been playing pretty good lately. Pretty well. Oh, not that. We want this. Okay, Longwood hosting USC Upstate, no line. And now there is Longwood laying 8.5. We like that. We're going to take Longwood at home to win and cover. That should be a solid play. Longwood is good. Have you ever heard of Longwood? Well, they're good. They're good little basketball team. UAB, who is terrific, at Southern Miss, who is awful. 18.5 the line. We say that this is how bad. So how good we think UAB is, how bad we think Southern Miss is. And if you think they're going to show up and fight, you got it wrong. They're not good. They're not good. I don't even know why they're in Division One. They're really not good. 18.5 the line, and it's up to 24.5. Holy cow! What happened? Wow. So obviously we're going to keep that 18.5. Wow, that shot up fast. Holy smokes, it went up 6 points in a heartbeat. Okay, UT Arlington on the road at Monroe. It's a pick 'em. And we say Arlington wins by 5. So that's our play. Let's see if it's still a pick 'em. No, Monroe laying 0.5 point now. Well, if we do this, that becomes a money line, right? Monroe laying 0.5 point. If we put UT Monroe up here and UT Arlington, UL Monroe. Let me fix that. UL Monroe. UT Monroe. That's just dumb. And we flip that, and No, 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 no. In fact, go back, go back. It's not going back. Okay, so start off as a pick-up now, and we had Arlington winning. Okay, so we're going to keep that there now. No, we had Monroe winning. Did we? No, we didn't. We had Arlington winning. Yes, this is how it was originally. Arlington at Monroe. Now they're getting half a point, and we say they're going to win the game. So this becomes a money line opportunity. We have the dog winning the game, the Vegas dog winning the game. It's a money line. Took us a while to get there, but we got there. South Alabama at home to Little Rock, 15 and a half is the line. It's still 15 and a half, and that's a good solid play. I think South Alabama wins and covers there. Duke at Clemson, Duke laying 7.5, and it is down to 6.5, which is a gift from Vegas to me, and I'm going to accept it. Okay, another money line play, and I don't like this one at all. I don't know what the computer's thinking. Western Kentucky at home. Western Kentucky is good. Laying 4.5, and we say Florida Atlantic is going to win. All right, if you say so, computer, but I don't buy that. And let's just see if it's still 4.5. It's still 4.5. That's a guaranteed loser. Utah Valley at home, hosting Grand Canyon, who's got some good numbers. We like Grand Canyon to win. It's a money line because we got the dog to win. So watch for that one to convert. Belmont, a really good team, having a great year, hosting Morehead State, pretty good team. Laying 9.5, and it's still 9.5. St. Thomas, not that great of a team, but when you consider who they're playing, this team is, let's just say they're on the lower end of the rankings. We say St. Thomas wins by 10. The line is 6.5, and the line is now 5.5. So we're going to take that. It makes it easier for us to cover. South Dakota at Omaha. Omaha is slightly above room temperature North Dakota. Are they, or are they worse than North Dakota? I got to know these things. Here's North Dakota. They're 3-20, 13.82. There's Omaha, 3-20, and they're 14.35. Yeah, Omaha is worse than North Dakota. Yeah, forget about going and looking up some of the good teams, man. I'm interested in these horrible teams. I don't know why, and that's not what I want. I want this. South Dakota's good. They're not South Dakota State good, but they're good. They're going to absolutely destroy Omaha at Omaha by 17. The line's 5.5. I bet you if this thing moves one way, yeah, it's still 5.5. Pardon me. If this line moves, it's going to move north of this because that's how bad they are. Stephen F. Austin, good team. At Chicago State, not a good team. 11.5 the line. We say 23, so we like Stephen F. Austin here. And it is still 11.5. Texas State on the road to Louisiana. Texas State's a better team, got better numbers. And this belongs up here. This is a money line play because Vegas has Texas State as a dog. We'd say they're going to win 68-66. Let's see if that's still the case. Texas State. Louisiana's still giving up a half a point. Yeah, that hasn't changed. And then we go through a series where there was no lines. UT Martin at home to SIU Edwardsville, winning by 1. Let's see what the line is. And it's SIU Edwardsville by 2.5. So, say it with me, folks. This is a money line opportunity because we have the underdog winning the game. right? Because we have UT Martin beating Edwardsville and getting 2.5. Okay, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi at New Orleans. I have a feeling this is going to be a money line as well. And let's see what the line is now on this. New Orleans laying 3.5. So yeah, that's another money line play. So, and anything can happen in the Southland where these two teams play the Southland Conference. It's just up for grabs, man. All these next three games are Southland Conference games. And one night, Incarnate Word, who's got terrible numbers, will beat the best team in the conference. And I can't even tell you who the best team is. But in this case, Nichols hosting Incarnate Word. There was no line. We say Nichols by 18, which means our Incarnate Word's probably going to win. The line is Nichols laying 15.5 now. So we like Nichols, but this is the Southland and anything can happen. So bet Incarnate Word. That's my best advice. Northwestern State hosting Houston Baptist. We say Northwestern State by 3, and the line is Northwestern State laying 6.5. So we'll just take the dog here and watch the sparks fly. Murray State, who's really good on the road at Tennessee State, who's okay. Actually, they're less than okay. We say Murray State. That's how good Murray State's a good team. So we say 27. What does Vegas say? Vegas says 14.5. So we like the win and cover here on the road for Murray State. If it were convenient, I'd go show you Murray State because that's a good team. Okay, no line here. Southeast Missouri State at Austin Peay. Austin Peay not having a great year. Really, neither is Southeast Missouri State, but better year than so Austin Peay laying 2.5. So it's a money line play because we got the dog winning the game. So we're gonna put that 2.5 up here, and we're gonna take these and copy and paste. So money line opportunity here. Tennessee Tech on the road to Eastern Illinois. I don't mean to focus on the bad teams, but that, folks, is a bad team, a really bad team. What does Vegas say? Really, really bad team. So they're giving Eastern Illinois 9.5, which is not even close to being generous. Tennessee Tech is our play. I talk all big, and I got a 50% winning percentage. But okay, whatever. Washington State, who is ranked 30th, I think I got them, which is, I don't know. I don't know the number 30. There's so many good teams. Hosting Arizona, who is undoubtedly a top team. There's just no question. They're a top team. Let's scroll down and find Washington State because here they are. Oh, my God, they're at 22. Look who's behind them. Michigan State, St. Mary's, Indiana. Ohio. Come on. Get out of here. Washington State is not that good. Arkansas is going to Seton Hall. Get out of here. Washington State is not number 22. And I have a feeling Arizona is going to let them know that. So 6.5 was the line. We say 12. We're taking Arizona on the road. And it's now 5.5. Arizona. So what are you afraid of, Vegas? We're talking about the Cougs here. Idaho hosting Idaho State. We have a 7-point victory for Idaho. The line is Idaho laying 3.5. So we're going to take Idaho to win and cover. And I've bashed both these teams enough to not say anything negative about either one of them, but I could. Okay, I could. Southeastern Louisiana State hosting McNeese. No line here, but we say Southeast Louisiana State wins by 4. And the line is 4.5. Southeastern laying 4.5 McNeese, so we like McNeese here on that half a point play. Montana hosting Northern Arizona. We have a 12-point win for Montana, and the line comes up at 11.5. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you dang know it? So we say Montana wins and covers, and I firmly believe that's going to happen because NAU hasn't played a decent game in weeks. And Montana can be tough, especially at home. New Mexico State at Dixie State. We say it's a 21-point win for New Mexico State. What is the line? The line's 10.5. So New Mexico State's our play. Montana State hosting Portland State, who's been unbelievable. Portland State's been great lately. They say it's a 14-point win, for Montana State. And Portland State on the road, they might be tired, but they've been playing really well. 9.5 is the line. So we're going to take Montana State and be warned, Montana State. Portland State's been playing really, really well. Okay, you never know with these big schools because the games at Michigan and Purdue could go, we're so tired. We're just so tired. We got to go to Michigan and play a basketball game. I'm 20 years old. I'm just so fatigued and tired. That could and likely will happen. But the numbers say Purdue beats Michigan by 14. The line's 2.5. And it's still 2.5. So Purdue's our play. South Dakota State, who's terrific, at Denver, who is not. The South Dakota State, really, folks, is a good team. And the line is Denver getting 12.5. So we like South Dakota State to win and cover there. Oregon at home to Stanford. I'm a bit surprised that it's a 3-point game. We're taking Stanford. I don't like it. 8.5 was the line. Let's see what the current line is. Current line is still 8.5. I don't like it. I don't know why the computer likes Stanford. Especially consider this. I showed this before, but it's worth mentioning again. That all these good teams, here's Oregon, have outscored their opponent. Okay, here's UCLA. You would imagine it would go that way, right? They've scored more than they've allowed. Here's USC. They've scored more than they allowed. Here's Washington State. They've scored more than they allowed. In their case, they've scored a lot more than they've allowed. Here's Washington's not that great. They've allowed more than they scored. Utah, about break even. Here's Stanford. They've allowed more than they've scored. But look at their rating. Their rating is a 9.61. It means they played a tough schedule. If you look at the strength of schedule, 9.5 versus 10.04, 10.17 teams in the conference, right? So let's see who Stanford has played. What's so great about them? All right, Tarleton. Oh, Santa Clara is a good team. San Jose State's not a good team. Valpo is decent. They played Baylor, North Carolina A&T. They played Colorado and Oregon already. Okay, they played Texas. They played Wyoming, who they're all of 8.6. Man, that's a good team. They played, now they get the Pac-12. But I guess the point here is that their non-conference schedule was tougher than the rest of the Pac-12s because you don't do this, allow more than you score, and get a good rating like that without that being the case. It's all about your opponents who you played. Okay. Dead horse beaten. And so we don't like that play, but we're taking Stanford. Gonzaga, 32.5 is the line. And I double checked that. 32.5 is the line. Over Pacific, who's been playing well. And we say 39, and it's still 32.5. That, folks, is how good Gonzaga is. St. Mary's at home to San Diego. St. Mary's might be a little pissed. I think it was St. Mary's. Yeah. Did they lose recently? I know San Francisco lost recently. Did St. Mary's lose recently? They did. Yeah, they went to Santa Clara, like, who's a good team, and got beat. So I wouldn't want to be the team that faced them next, if you know what I mean. And we'll talk about San Francisco when we get them. So I think that's a good play. I think that's going to be a solid at home victory by 18, winning and covering. I think that's a great play. Okay, Weber State on the road at Eastern Washington. There's no line, and Weber State is laying 3.5. We say win by 8. That's our play. I was kind of hoping to get to take Eastern Washington because they are a game. Now imagine, a team that fights and scraps and put them at home. I kind of think that Eastern Washington should be the play here. But we got to do what the computer says. That's the rules. Cal Poly, the backside cover experts, because that's all they do is they're always the dog and they always do the backside cover. It's amazing. They're hosting Cal State Northridge. Not just because they do the backside cover, it doesn't make them a good team. Northridge certainly is not a good team. So we're talking Cal Poly's at that level. But Vegas has them laying 5.5. So we're taking Northridge here. And let's see if that has changed. It has. It's gone down to 4.5. And we want to make it as tough on Cal Poly to beat Northridge as possible. So we're going to keep that. We're going to decline the gift. Thank you, Vegas. Cal Baptist hosting Lamar. Lamar is winless on the year. I think they're 0-18. Cal Baptist got a little scrap to them. The line's 11.5. We're taking Cal Baptist, and it's still 11.5. And Northern Colorado on the road to Sacramento State, laying 5.5. Good team, awful team. And it's still 5.5. So we're still taking Northern Colorado. Seattle U hosting UT Rio Grande Valley, laying 12.5. We say 16, so we're taking Seattle U to win and cover. And it's down to 13, or it's up to 13. And so we're going to keep it. We're going to decline it. We're going to keep it at 12.5. UC Davis on the road to UC San Diego. No line earlier. We have Davis prevailing. And there's still no line. So no line here. Put that in. We like UC Irvine at home to Riverside, but Riverside's good. The line's 4.5. We say Riverside loses by 3, so that's a backside cover. And this line has gone up to 4.5. It's still at 4.5. Okay, so nothing changes. UCSB Santa Barbara hosting Cal State Bakersfield. The line's 2.5. We say 12, so we're taking Santa Barbara, and the line's still 2.5. Washington hosting Arizona State. Vegas says 1.5. We say Washington only wins by 1, so we've given ourselves no room. There's no room for error. What we're saying essentially is Arizona State wins the game. Is there any more room? Nope, it's still 1.5. So that's what we're stuck with. BYU at Loyola Marymount. That's an easy word to say. 7.5 is the line. We say 16. And it is now still 7.5. Okay. San Francisco lost to Portland the other night. Portland went to San Francisco and beat them. That is completely improbable, but it happened. So now guess who gets to face a pissed off San Francisco? A not so great Pepperdine. Okay. 18.5 is the line at USF. It's still 18.5. That's going to be our play. And was there one other game? Oh, that's postponed. Okay. That's it, folks. That's our preview show for Thursday, February 10th. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you gain some knowledge, to impart some knowledge to you there. But that'll do it for this one. We'll do the postmortem on this tomorrow night and the preview for Friday's game. So we'll see you then. So I shall now bid you all an adieu. Bye.